Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, what team are you on? For this video, the man is on Team Raw. That's right. The man made, if you follow me on Instagram, and Twitter, of course, as well, I posted there too. The man saw a deal on WWE Shop the other day. And I've been wanting for, probably for a while now, because I always like the colors for the Raw and SmackDown t-shirts. So I saw a deal, and I got them both. Now, the SmackDown shirt was, the shirts are a little bit darker than I thought they would be in color. But they're still good. I still enjoy them, and I am, you know, glad that we add this addition to my wardrobe, my repertoire. So, most of the time, expect me to be wearing these shirts during my Raw and SmackDown reviews. Maybe eventually I'll get an AEW one like this as well. Maybe I'll get it, I'm not sure, but definitely not for a bit, because again, I am watching myself because I still got stuff to pay for my wedding and whatnot. So, just to be safe, gotta be careful, but again, it was a good deal. My fiance talked to me and said, hey, go for it. So I'm like, well, I gotta stay for a wedding. Go for it. You deserve to treat yourself. So, I decided to go for it. Also, my apologies. I did mean to update these backgrounds since the draft happened, and Roman Reigns is no longer considered to be on Raw, and Bianca Belair is on SmackDown, despite still awkwardly being the Raw Women's Champion. We'll talk about that, but I was getting ready to record this, and I completely forgot to update that. But again, on very limited time, this month and next month are going to be nuts. So again, probably a lot of more pre-recorded videos, not many live streams. I'm just really not having time to do a lot of free time stuff right now. So, just be patient. But these brief reviews are going to be the best I can do right now. So guys, what is going on? This is The Club of the Man 1993. And tonight, we're on Team Raw. Well, sorry. We are on Team Raw. For I am the man himself. And we're going to talk about the May 8th. 2023 edition of Monday Night Raw. And it took place in Jacksonville, Florida. Which, of course, I didn't put two and two together until Cody Rhodes came out. That, of course, Cody Rhodes was kind of making himself at home in Jacksonville during the pandemic, whenever Dynamite was always at Daily's place. But, so, this episode of Raw, I didn't hate it. But I also didn't particularly love it either. Especially coming out of Backlash, which was clearly a Triple H show. The crowd was nowhere close. Nowhere close to the energy that it had whenever they were in Puerto Rico. It didn't even match it. It didn't even come close. So yeah, the show definitely did suffer from the crowd. There was some stuff I liked, even though it was predictable. I liked the matches for the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. We have our Raw winner already, which was pretty obvious who it was going to be. Brock showed up to cost Cody was a little sooner than I thought it would. A couple other things I liked. A couple things that I'm like, about. Again, it's just a show that, once again, Triple H is doing the best he can, but when you got Vince in your ear on the phone, you're going to the script. No, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. So yeah, I would say it was decent. Again, like I said, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it either. But we're going to blow through this. Again, I do want to do my Dynamite review tonight also, which, by the way, also, and I'll probably mention this, I will be wearing this shirt again for Dynamite. Apparently, this show was hyped up online as a must-see episode of Raw. And to me, that ended up being Dynamite this week, not Raw. But we'll talk about that after this episode. So, let's roll in. Let's talk about this show. It started off, of course, with Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare himself, coming out saying, "So, Jacksonville, what do you want to talk about?" He mentions, of course, how he made his home here during the pandemic and made a lot of wonderful memories, and he's here to make another one tonight. First, though, he wants to talk about Backlash. And how he discovered that Brock Lesnar can be defeated because he did, in fact, defeat Brock Lesnar. After WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar took away his focus and put him in a fight for survival. But now he says he's hoping Brock Lesnar's in the rearview mirror. Psych! He's not. So he has his eye now on the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And he just basically just hypes up for a second and said the tournament is on. And we get the first of our 3 triple threat matches. We have Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we had Cody Rhodes, The Miz, and Finn Balor. Some people did get like a kind of like a backstage thing beforehand. The first one we had was Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, and Shinsuke Nakamura. I like this match. Definitely 3 men who I thought was worthy of being in the tournament. Again, as I keep saying, despite the awkward stuff with like SmackDown Women's Champion on Raw, or, SmackDown Superstars are competing for a Raw exclusive World Heavyweight title, which I think I heard it was just to get some views for SmackDown. I can't remember what it was for, but it's still very stupid. But, this match still was good. Also, FYI, my fiance, whenever they introduced Shinsuke Nakamura, she's never seen Nakamura before, he's been out for a while. She thought they said his name was Shit Stain Nakamura. So yeah, my fiance calls Shinsuke Nakamura Shit Stain Nakamura. But anyways, so I did like how they gave all 3 men like some decent showcases. All 3 did look pretty good. All 3 are definitely world champion material, I think. And it was nice to see Nakamura get some long offense. With the entrance and, Triple H still having somewhat of his hands on creative, I am hoping Nakamura gets a decent push. And can at least get somewhat back to what he was. Just here's the thing. If you put a mid-card title on him again, please actually give him a solid reign. Because every time Shinsuke Nakamura has had a mid-card title, he literally just disappears and like is never even there. And it's so stupid. Or he's saying stuff like, Rusev is a total diva. That's the reason why him and Rusev were fighting in 2018 and 2019 before they became a tag team. But anyways, Seth Rollins got the win. I was kind of hoping he would have pinned Priest since Priest had the bad leg, but instead he pinned Nakamura after hitting a pedigree. But he gets the pinfall there. So he moves on to the finals, and he'll face the winner of the second triple threat match. Before we got there, we had a backstage with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Imperium. They're saying how they're demanding respect, and that Gunther's going to be showing up on Raw next week. And then it leads to a match between them later on in the show. I wish they would have kind of saved it, because I do want to see KO and Sammy have a pay-per-view feud with Imperium, but then again, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are still rumored to not be going to Night of Champions for Saudi Arabia, which could change, who knows. But we had that. Then we had Mustafa Ali, again, free agent, positive Ali, beat Otis in a match. The only thing I was intrigued by the match is the fact that they had Chad Gable and Maxime Dupree basically, arguing over what he should do next, and it costed him the match, and Ali gets a rare victory. Okay, again, low card, nothing great, but I get it. So there was that, even though I still don't get this whole free agent crap, how free agents can wrestle on any brand they want, but yet they weren't drafted, so what is the point then of the freaking draft? So then we had the second triple threat match. Cody Rhodes, Finn Balor, and The Miz. Why is Miz even in this tournament? Was it even in this tournament? I would have rather had someone like Gunther in it, or Bronson Reed, or I don't know. Because I'm just not feeling The Miz being world champion anytime soon, unfortunately. I wish I was, but just not now. But he was in there to take the pin. Because during the match, Cody Rhodes had hit 2 crossroads until Brock Lesnar snuck in with a black hoodie on, hit an F5 on Cody through the table. Finn takes advantage and hits a coup de grace on Miz to get the victory. Afterwards, though, Brock Lesnar grabs a microphone, stands above Cody's body over top of the broken announce table, and I'm thinking, oh, are we finally going to get an explanation from Brock as to why he's doing this? And Cody's even acknowledged in recent promos saying, I don't know why Brock's mad at me, this, and that. And Brock is just like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about, Cody? Talk about me! Me! And Cody, at Night of Champions, I want to fight! I don't want a wrestling match. I challenge you to a fight! What do you say, Cody? So, they're not going to wrestle, but they're going to fight. Which sounds very Vince McMahon-ish, because when I hear someone say we're going to have a fight, I remember, I think it was in 2015 when Roman Reigns was feuding with Bray Wyatt, and basically he was just like, I'm not going to challenge you to a match tonight, I want to challenge you to a fight. And basically they just had it looked like two kids showing up in a schoolyard and just saying, just beat the crap out of each other. That's all it was. So is that what we're going to get at Night of Champions? I would think you would get something like No Holds Barred or False Count Anywhere, which I'd say False Count Anywhere. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I take how the promo went from Dynamite this week with Chris Jericho and Roderick Strong? We'll talk about that later. So yeah, they're going to wrestle they're going to have a fight at Night of Champions. And I'm hoping, again, that leads to something more than just a fight. Again, like a Falls Count Anywhere, No Holds Barred, something else besides just a fight. But, yeah, that promo was awkward by Brock. Me! That's all he kept saying. So reminded me a little bit of Batista's, give me what I want! Give it to me! Give me what I want! Unless if Brock forgot his lines, but gosh, I don't know. We'll see. Quite frankly, again, I was wondering where I still don't know why Brock hates Cody so much. So whatever. We have that. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, we have a match with Rhea Ripley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, who's on Raw, and Dana Brooke. So first off, Dana Brooke comes out, and she's like high-fiving fans. And literally one of the fans hers look like, who are you? Which is true, because I feel like the last time we saw Dana Brooke on TV, wasn't it when she had the 24/7 title? And if so, that was from like last fall. So it's been eons since Dana Brooke's been on TV. But she took on the SmackDown Women's Champion, who is on Raw, Rhea Ripley, and she basically squashes Dana. And then afterwards, she has Dana back in the Cloverleaf. And I was hoping this would have been where Bianca would have come out. Because I'm still thinking, instead of doing a title swap, they should still, at Night of Champions, do a one-on-one match, unify the Raw and SmackDown women's titles, call it the WWE Women's Championship, and whichever brand does not have a title gets the WWE Women's World Championship. No, instead we have Natalya come out, and that's probably going to be the next pay-per-view match, Rhea Ripley and Natalya. And we still had no addressing of how SmackDown Women's Champions on Raw, Raw Women's Champions on SmackDown, because to me it now seems like that they're scared. They're scared to do the title swap, so now they don't know what to do. I'm giving you an idea what to do. And again, it goes back to that Night After Mania segment where they both saw each other, like, we'll come back to this later. And this could be that later. Just literally have them both fight. I mean, unless if they're just waiting till after Night of Champions because they don't want to be doing like too many changes at once. Okay, but you got to have a story to this awkwardness. Again, it just makes no sense. Like, again, if Io would have been drafted to Raw, I would love to have seen them give Io the Raw Women's title in Puerto Rico at Backlash. Because honestly, people were behind Io and booing Bianca. So, instead, we're going to begin Rhea Ripley versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship, despite the fact that they're on Raw. Yay. So, yeah, that I wasn't a fan of. What I did like, though, well, we first have a backstage segment with one of the NXT call-ups after doing like a draft, like hype reel. We have Zoe Stark being interviewed backstage. And she has some segment with Nikki Cross, and it sets up for Zoe's first match later on in the show against Nikki. We then have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn take on Imperium. And the match, again, like the one with the Street Profits, wasn't super duper long. And the tag champs retain. Okay, I'd rather see the tag champs... Oh, no, sorry. It was a non-title match, but I would not want to see them beat Imperium clean here. Again, because that's a match you save for pay-per-view. So that was okay, but disappointing. Oh, yeah, and then we have these backstage segments throughout the night with Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville walking around signing getting people to sign a petition to address the injustices of the world and for them to get another shot for the women's tag titles. And I saw this and I'm like, damn it. I'm happy for Carmella for her getting pregnant, but I still wish she was around. Because it's obvious that the pairing with her and Carmella was supposed to be a thing, but Sonya Deville's kind of like filled in that void. And I'm starting to really dislike Sonya's character again. Like, she's no longer in power, but she literally, she has no excuses to keep getting these opportunities. Like, what injustice or what screwy finish happened that you feel like you're entitled for another shot? Like, you just look like a spoiled, whiny little kid. And that's not an interesting character whatsoever. And I hate to say it, but it's also like dragging Chelsea down because that Karen character that, she had before had, again, as I always said, it's okay to have a complaining heel, but you have to have some actual good backup. And honestly, Sonya's never had any good backup to her reasons of why she should get another shot. Of course, later on in the show, oh dear Lord, I got so pissed when this happened. You have Raquel and Liv walk up and say, you don't have to do a petition. If you want another shot, all you had to do was ask. And I hate that's excuse that all you had to do was ask, because guess what? You should be earning your freaking title shots. I don't know. It's really getting under my skin how they book that stuff. So yeah, title shots, no reason. But of course, while they're doing this, we see that The Way, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Dexter Lumis, and Indy Hartwell are all back together. And Johnny Gargano said something like he's gonna be coming back, which a lot of people are thinking that's gonna be a sign that Tommaso Ciampa's coming back soon, which could be, but I don't know about The Way. I mean, their faces now, maybe it'll work, but I wasn't a fan of it in NXT. I really was not, and mostly because I wasn't a fan of Johnny's heel character, but. Maybe it'll work on the main roster. Maybe it'll give, Johnny a direction under Vince. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not too sure about it, but we'll see. We had the match with Zoe Stark and Nikki Cross. Solid match. I didn't get to see too much of Zoe because she started not long before I stopped watching. I was definitely intrigued by her. I still get why she's a heel though. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like she's just a little more organic as a babyface, and her heel character is like a typical, simple blueprint of like a heel character, and it's nothing unique. So I feel like she should just be a face again. Just my opinion, but good match. I like her finisher, the Z360. It's a very nice looking finish. So hoping for good things for on the main roster. Oh yeah, and then we have Rhea Ripley and Dominic backstage. They run into Akira Tozawa and Xavier Woods, and basically just talk trash to each other. And it sets up for Dum Dum, as Xavier was calling Dum Dum, to have a match against Xavier and Dominic. To have a match later on in the show. All right, then we have this segment right here. So we had Trish Stratus throughout the night, handing out these flyers. And she's wearing this sports bra that has like a missing Becky Lynch poster on it. And she comes out and is basically saying, has anybody seen Becky, this, and that? But don't worry, we'll find her. Everything will be okay. I have all my platforms and tools where we can find Becky, and you can thank me for that. She'll probably find Becky crying in the corner with her dumb daughter, who is 2 and can't even name her colors. And she won't be coming back because nobody steals Trish's spotlight. So of course they're like, oh, she's not coming back. She's not coming back. Kind of like how it was with The Fiend and Randy Orton when Randy Orton burned The Fiend alive. He's like, oh, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. He's actually coming back. And so is Becky. Becky's music plays, and then Trish like, aha, I fooled you, this, and that. Then it starts talking about some promo about how her daughter wanted to name her doll after Becky Lynch. And then Becky's music does hit again, and Trish is like, no, it was just the one time they get the joke. But it turns out Becky actually does return, which I'm surprised she did. Thought they put this off a little bit longer, but Becky is back, and she runs off Trish. I don't know. Is it just me, or... And again, because I've never really seen Trish's heel work, but like the stuff with her, saying I'm not a nostalgia act, I'm still the real deal, like that I can believe. Like Trish is a real deal, but this stuff with like the Becky missing poster and the story about her with her daughter, like does it feel like a little bit this is not an organic character for Trish? Like, I'm starting to feel about this the same way I was kind of feeling about Edge when he turned heel and randomly started the Judgment Day. Like, it feels like he's playing like a completely different character, and it just doesn't feel like it's quite in his wheelhouse. Like, this Trish character as a heel, like, I feel like Trish as a heel would have been better in the TV 14 days. Because I feel like Trish could generate more of the heat because of her sex appeal. But just as a regular character, it just feels like she's much more organic as a babyface. So I don't know. I'm not quite feeling this feud yet. Or so far. I'm guessing they may do a match at Night of Champions since they already brought Becky back. I still would have liked to have seen them maybe have Trish get the Raw Women's title back on Raw and her have a brief reign and have Becky take the title off her at SummerSlam or something like that. But I don't know. Again, I'm just not quite feeling it. I'm not. Cody Rhodes did accept Brock Lesnar's fight at Backlash. And then we had Dominic Mysterio and Xavier Woods. They gave this match a lot of time. A lot more than I thought they would. But Dominic gets a victory. It was a decent match there. I am glad to see, though, that whenever Dom is getting TV time, he's been getting a lot more wins lately, which I do like that. I still keep getting worried here and there that I feel like his TV time has been like slowly getting cut down a little bit since WrestleMania. Like, again, I'm worried that that's more like a Vince thing, but we'll see. We also get a hype promo from Indus Sher with Jinder Mahal. I'm not really excited about that. Miz tries to talk Shinsuke Nakamura into being a tag team, calling them Miz-K Nakamura, and then Shinsuke basically challenged him to a one-on-one match next week. And then the main event was Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. I mean, the most noteworthy spot of this match, which they always have solid matches, was that Finn slammed Seth into the barricade, very similar to how Seth did it to him at SummerSlam 2016. And they kind of did like a callback to that with Finn saying, like, how'd you like it now? Or something like that. And, of course, it eventually leads to Seth Rollins winning the match. So he will be fighting the winner of the SmackDown brand, the SmackDown side, for the World Heavyweight title at Night of Champions. And, again, I'm still pretty positive Seth is probably going to win. Which, again, he should. And that's Raw. It was decent. Few little mess there, whatnot, this and that. I gave it a C+. C+. It is what it is. Team Raw, as I can show it again, was not as, like, must-see as it was hyped up to be. But Dynamite, though. We'll talk about that next. I'll be recording that next and probably uploading these at the same time. So guys, that's my thoughts on this episode of Raw. Gave it a C+. Some meh stuff in there, but some stuff I was, fine with. What are your guys' thoughts on this episode of Raw? Make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at the Club of the Man 93. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. Again, I will hopefully be getting my Dynamite review done with tonight as well. And until then, guys, I'll catch you all then. If not, have a great rest of your night. And always remember, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself.